Welcome to Press Play, folks.
Thank you, Vineet.
Hey, Vinny, very good evening, and thank you for having us here at Press Play.
Awesome, man. Fantastic to have my friends from Absolute, Akshay and Kush on our 15th podcast. We're changing up the format this time. We go all video, finally. So, before we start, I must share that I have seen these guys, Absolute folks, grow the past few years on the back of some strong relationships and understanding of the video ad market in India, which today has them as one of the top Google partners with a plethora of demand relationships to help publishers monetize their video content. So let's get started. Tell us a little bit about yourselves, Kush and Aksh, and also what's it like to run one of the fastest growing ad networks, Absolute?
Yeah.
Thanks for all the kind words. Thanks for all the kind words, Vineet. We thank you for having us on the Winwit community, and I believe the podcast is already doing a lot wonders in the India and international video community. And having us as your first partners for monetization in terms of this podcast means very good to us. So I believe yes, we'll share some words upon what we are seeing in terms of what Absolute is doing in the market and how the entire market is growing when it comes to programmatic and when it comes to monetization. Because let's just start from the beginning. Uh, India was an advertiser focused world. Only the big companies, let's say like the Amul and the Pepsi, were heavily present across the TV, radio, and news space. And then came digital. So as soon as digital came into picture and all of these startups started evolving with all of these VCs coming into picture, all of the markets started growing. When it comes to advertising or marketing or finance, the entire India industry started booming. With a lot of traditional businesses shutting down during the phase of COVID, uh, there were even more investments coming onto these lines. And at that point of time, what we saw was uh, having time spent on video started improving. A lot of investments, a lot of companies, a lot of international companies were trying to get India as a market because obviously because of the population that we have and the investments that were booming in this space. So when all of these things started combining, monetization, programmatic, all of these buzzwords started getting more and more importance when it comes to when it comes to a common man in India. So speaking about monetization has not been, one of the major areas of working in India. What we've seen is that there are a lot of ad agencies in India, a lot of ad agencies in Mumbai that are catering to social media awareness, brand building, and all of that. But a very few focus upon how programmatic advertising can be dealt in order to get more and more ROIs. And that is how we began in early 2016. Kush and I connected over Skype calls at that point of time, and we thought that let's just try setting up the entire ad network space and try providing publishers with support and help them understand what the industry is about and how that can add them revenues on a monthly basis. That's how it all started. We got a few publishers, a few customers who were actually they were actually trying to support us. The customers were trying to support us that it's okay that you guys have started something new. Let's just try and understand how you guys in the long run can have a different kind of a picture for us. And that trust to young adults like us at that point of time, I was I think 20, 21 or 22, and Kush was 23. And at that point of time when we began, I mean that trust played the entire game. And I would actually highlight that those customers are still working with us and are still present as testimonials on our websites and everywhere.
Yeah, so I would like to add over here, and first of all, thank you, Vinny, and a very good evening. Thank you for saying such a kind words. To give you a brief introduction, I was a software engineer as my education, and I started late back. I started as a software developer working at Yardi Systems, where I used to create custom solutions for them, for their clients, and then I shifted to Quico, which was again an online income tax platform. So my background was always into a tech space, and I was always a techie guy looking to create some solutions and solving problems in that. Late back in 2016, when I met Aksh, we were discussing about the advertising ecosystem and everything. Then there we came to there is something where Absolute came into picture, and where I would so basically I just told Daksh that why not I can use my I would say developer skills over here, and we can make good solutions for our publishers, which can actually cater them and help them to monetize in a better way. That is always that was always our main focus, is to give something innovative to the publishers and advertisers, so that whatever budgets does advertiser spends on the publishers, right, they should get a good amount of revenue, or they should get a good amount of feedback from them also. So that was our main goal in terms of that.
Nice, man. Awesome. And you guys are also related, right? The cousins?
Yeah, we are first cousins. So yeah, I mean, in terms of that, it's going really great. I mean,
Yeah, awesome, man. It's great to see a family business in the ad tech space.
so
Nice.
it's kind of an tech and sales combination, I would say. Yeah.
Right. No, that's amazing. I think you guys complement each other really well. So, what's hot in the programmatic video ad world? How has the market evolved over the last few years?
So basically, into the if we say a video programmatic, right? So as we know that majorly nowadays, video consumption has been increased after TikTok and ShareChat and all the OTT partners coming into picture. There are a lot of new content creators coming on board for the user engagement, right? We are seeing a lot of new content on multiple platforms, right? So so basically, that's why most of the advertisers are shifting their budgets toward the video consumption, because the user engagement is more over here, right? We see a lot of new content creators creating a new content, and the spends so that the daily user consumption of data and spending the time on mobile has been increased drastically, right? So that is where advertisers are looking their eye on that and spending their budgets over there. So that is what is most interesting, to see that video is growing immensely. I mean, in that space.
So that's where experts like Winvid and Vineet Mehta come in, where they help bring the OTTs and all of these platforms to start scaling video. And once all of that is scaled, they find advertising partners to get monetization and get revenue out of that. And that's where we come in. And in terms of, let's say, in terms of programmatic video, the market has tremendously grown. There are inquiries coming in. The market has matured in the level of knowledge that people had. Earlier, it was an RO run business where, industry contacts and, below the table connections and all of that used to go a long way. But all of that has been, reduced to a certain limit. And now what happens is people are actually understanding the aggregator space. They're actually understanding the value add that people get. So it's not like that, like the earlier age where a person has a relation with someone else and that all the media spends are going over there. People are actually experimenting their budgets from YouTube, and they're trying to get more ad spends available on OTTs, or let's say even on the web space. We are seeing a lot of budgets being truly expanded into the local newspaper space. Publishers like Lokmat, we've seen them grow since the start when they were trying to have video integrations done. At that point of time, we enabled them with the entire video technology and everything. And let's say in the next 2 to 3 years, they build their entire stack on themselves. Basically, have programmatic monetization, have direct campaigns on above that, and have a lot of content. They're even selling branded content, and this has happened in less than 2 years of time. So
Wow.
their ad stack is completely full till the end of the year, and even the branded content space is doing very well. They've got big brands coming in for the Marathi content that they are and the audience that they're catering to. So
That's awesome.
all of these things are growing. Even the publishers who were earlier not considered to be the premium ones or not considered to be the A-listed inventory sources are building their tech, are having confidence in this system that is now open and transparent and scalable for everyone.
That's amazing.
I would like to
Yeah,
I would
please.
like to add a point over here when we say a video. So nowadays, earlier, so in the web space also, many of the publishers have implemented the live TV section and
Right,
VOD videos on their platform. Why? Because they see that the user is more engaging towards the video content
right.
and spending more time seeing the videos. Right. That is why everything from a standard TV is moving towards the web and applications where a user can have an easy access and they can stream more and more content. That is the main thing which we are seeing in the video space.
No, I completely agree. I mean, we've together seen so much growth in the short time that we've been associated, and there's so much opportunity. But with opportunity, I'm sure that there are challenges. We just had still in the midst of a pandemic, still coming out of it. So, how do you see the challenges in the industry? It's not predictable, right? I mean, there are certain months where revenues to the roof, and there are other months where it's like really, really, really low. So, how do you see this industry play out? I mean, there's talk about advertisers pulling back ad dollars a little bit this year, and that sort of narrative. So, what are your thoughts?
So basically, in 2020, when COVID came, right, we were saying that a lot of cricket matches were not playing, a lot of kabaddi matches, and all the sports related content was not coming on board, right? They were not going live. So over there, we were seeing a lot of downfall towards the advertiser side because due to COVID, no content was getting generated, and people were not able to see on their platforms. In terms of COVID, yeah, we have been seeing a downfall in terms of spending budgets by the advertisers. But in that time, when users were mostly working from home and they were mostly active on their mobile phones and devices, the data consumption increased over there, right? So a lot of advertisers who were related to home appliances or home applications or related to food something, right? We were pitching them to show ads over there, because if you're working from home, then it makes sense that to show something related to home appliances, for example LED lights or something related to some food material or something like that. So that is where we saw an opportunity where we can pitch those advertisers and show ads to the users for the user engagement.
So
Correct.
basically, advertising is all about, even if you want to, if you compare it in a certain way, these are also investments similar to what, on an individual level people invest in the stock market, or let's say in mutual funds and everything. So revenues are similar to the investments that you do. I mean, they're not always the same, the returns are not always the same. You need to keep looking out for innovations, keep looking at different industries, different publishers, different placements. So it all goes in that way. There's a lot of research going on behind in order to understand what is the best area, what is the best, point at which you can see a demand supply match. That is all what, the supply side ecosystem does. When it comes to publishers or media houses or aggregators or even exchanges and SSPs, all that we tend to do is have a decent demand supply match. Once that we are able to crack for a certain market, I mean, then we just have to start replicating those case studies and make magic for all of the partners that are associated with the company. And when it comes to demand side, I mean, it's always like that. I mean, they keep optimizing on a daily basis, inside out, A/B testing of whatever ad operations and campaign management happens. At the end of the day, they're also trying to do that part. So having connections and understanding where the demand and supply match exactly is where programmatic starts giving value, and that's how we've also associated with our partners. When it comes to advertisers, we never give them any kind of a fixed kind of a model that these are the rates, this is how it goes. It always depends upon, we just on a daily basis we just ask them to start bidding at 30 rupees to, let's say, 100 rupees, depending upon the inventory that they choose. And they keep fluctuating depending upon the volume that they need, depending upon the bidding ecosystem that is at that particular day. Same goes with publishers. At some days the revenues are sky high, and then some days it's better that we just stop, we don't pick up calls. It's either ways.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. I think, and plus, I think as you said, it's the demand, the supply, but also the supply has to understand the days when there's not enough demand, and similarly the other way around. So understand. And what is Absolute's roadmap and expansion strategy? I know that we spoke about the international calling. The
Hmm.
audience will love to hear about that.
So we've always been into a lot of daily efforts. I mean, I'll be very frank with you guys. I mean, we majorly work remotely. I mean, Kush and I, he's from Ahmedabad and I'm from Mumbai. What we try to do is we at least try to have one 5 to 10 minute call that we do not speak about operations, but that also does not happen every week. So it's all about the daily ad operations that we do. We keep finding opportunities on the tech side, on the marketing side, on the content, or let's say on the supply side, and we try to discuss all of that. Uh, any kind of opportunity that strikes after all the multiple tests and everything, that is when we try to get more of that particular chain. So let's say in terms of how we enabled PlayStream. PlayStream is our video product that came into picture when we started connecting with a lot of vernacular publishers for video environment. And what they told us was, okay, you guys have a video player. There are 50 different kind of proposals, but what is the revenue that we are going to make with it? So instead of them giving us money for the video streaming and content and video player skin and everything, the industry is such that they want everything combined. So that is how PlayStation was born. We merged analytics, monetization, content, streaming, video, and all of that in order to give them a holistic experience as to how the entire video space can be handled through one customer. And that is how we enable PlayStream in the past. At this point of time, what we are looking at is to basically have more and more connections and get into digging into the entire DSP SSP side of business, wherein we probably expand into different markets, APAC being our target market as of now, where we are actually trying to grow. And yeah, that is about it. We've in the past 2 years we've got heavy support from one of our customers. I mean, Google, that is supporting us, and they've you know mentioned to us that we are the number one video channel partner for them right now in India. And those guys are also trying to support us in terms of getting more and more customers and more publisher activations. And that is how, I mean, that is how the roadmap is. I mean, we talk to our customers. If they're looking at new market, let's have a new market. And if they're looking at more demand, then we try enabling all of the agencies and advertisers and everything. So it is always based upon feedback. uh, I mean, our next steps are based upon the feedback that we've got from the services that we've offered. It's
To add
always
upon
it's always interconnected, however.
So
Got
to
it.
add upon the Aksh point, in terms of roadmap and expansion, yeah, future is video and it will be always video. We are focusing more on new formats which are untapped, like for example, connected TV, and we say e-commerce for the same. So on terms of that, we are trying to create either an platform, or we are trying to create a new ad format in terms of that, where publishers and advertisers both can have benefit, and also tapping regions which we are not at present, like for example US, UK, Canada, Australia. So that those are the regions also we are expanding towards there, and capturing a lot of publishers and advertisers for the same.
Nice, awesome, man. I think your plate is pretty full in terms of expansion, and also the Google support definitely helps. So yeah, thanks for that. And what's the view? This is a question I've been wanting to ask you guys offline as well, but no better place than press play. What's your view on the upcoming cookieless world, the whole MCM disruption? Is that all done, or I think there is some level of unpredictability that publishers feel, or is that not right? What's your view?
So basically, in my point of view, like in terms of cookieless thing, again, it's a very great thing and it's a new thing where third, like for example, still the first party and second party data will be available to the DSPs, the user thing. But however, in the third party tracking thing, there is a user consent thing, which now everyone is able to see on their websites, whether as per the user consent the data will be shared or not, in terms of that. So again, in terms of a user point of view, the data privacy thing, it's a good for a user. It's good for the user that the data has been protected and not being shared by the multiple platforms. That is what is a major win-win situation for the user. Again, for the advertiser side, it will be a win-win situation, because now we are seeing the contextual ads, right? For example, if a website is related to the cooking thing or something like that, so ads will be regarding the cooking thing only. So the advertiser are using a many good technologies like AI technology and ML technology to scrape all, to read all the data and then show ads accordingly. So yeah, I mean, this way we are moving towards a new technology, and creating a buckets of user in terms of first party and second party data. So that is what I like about the cookieless thing in now, I mean, in recent times.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Aksh, you want to add to that?
So, I mean, all of these trends that are actually happening, I mean, they've always been there in multiple different names. So, for example, in the past, we had seen, uh, so as of now, what is happening is these are all things related to buyer side transparency, basically, that the advertisers want to have more transparent data as to where the ads are being shown, what is the entire journey of how the user is being acquired, and all of that. So all of these things in different manners have already been done in the programmatic industry. All of these revisions keep happening every 1 or 2 years. If we are lucky, there are 2 years of no changes. But this has always been there. Every 1 year there is some kind of an exchange or an SSP highlighting that these are the certain metrics that need to be adhered in order to have our budgets. The same goes with all of these other enterprise companies, that they have all of these checks that have to be taken into picture. So this is just a part of compliance, and yeah, there are advertisers and some publishers benefiting from all of these connections, but yes, these things keep happening.
That's good. I think the number one thing that I take away from my conversation with you guys for this question is that, I think we are moving more towards a transparent industry and a transparent world, which obviously helps all of us in the ecosystem. Um, Great, man. So I think really appreciate you guys hopping onto this call. Thank you. And my last question before we let you guys go is, what are your individual passions and hobbies beyond just ad tech and video?
So beyond ad tech and video, I mean, I love to travel. I mean, I listen music in my free time, and spend time with my family, because in COVID, a lot of things we have been learned in such times. I mean, such pandemic times. So yeah.
Nice, nice.
So mine, I believe the entire community, my network, everyone knows that whenever I'm off laptop, I'm just at a nearby bar or a coffee shop all the time. That's always been my weakness. Yeah.
That's good. That's good, man. I'm looking forward to having that drink with you guys the next time we meet. Thank you for
Sure.
100%.
yeah, thank you for your time. Appreciate it, and catch up soon. Any other parting
Thank-
words for the audience of our publishers who are looking at monetization?
I mean, it's always, not too late to start, whether it is, starting off your own blog, or it is starting off your own, company, or any of that dream that you are looking at in terms of business. Because right now, India is the best place where you could actually get started, network, connect, and grow. So yeah, we truly believe in that.
And Absolute is a one-stop solution for all the publishers and advertisers.
Okay.
Uh,
This is
for
sponsored.
all the for
Small, by the
for
way,
all
that's
the,
absolute.
yeah.
Nice, nice.
It's
Thank
a
you,
complete
guys.
suit, I would say.
Sounds good, man. Thank you, guys. Talk soon.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks a
Thank you
lot.
for everything, guys.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye bye.